The weekend is finally here and everybody's ready to go and get back on the water. Welcome back, guys, to this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. It's not just a normal weekend though, it's a holiday weekend, and let's go ahead and use that as our subject this week, and we're going to talk about holiday weekends out on the water. You're going to experience something a little bit different on a holiday weekend than you will on a traditional weekend when you get out there. One of the first things you'll notice, well, that boat ramp you've been using for a while, it's quite a bit busier than normal. One of the other things you may notice down at your local ramp this weekend compared to some other weekends in the past is you might see a few more people struggling than normal. And that's a lot of people trying to dust the rust off, as this really is kind of the official kickoff of boating season here in the US, especially in a lot of the northern part of the US where people haven't really had a chance to get out on the water yet. So of course we're going to see a few extra mistakes made. We're going to see a few people who just weren't quite ready for it yet, maybe forgot some of their characteristics of their boat or their vessel as they're trying to get things ready to go down at the ramp. But of course it's like anything, if you've been doing it long enough, it will all come back to you and you'll get it all figured out and you'll get that vessel out onto the water. The other one that you might see is some people who kind of neglected maintenance over the off season. You're going to see these people start to get out there and try and get their boat into the water, and things are not going to go as planned. They may even get it launched, they may not. It just depends on the situation. But hopefully if something is wrong with their vessel, they figure it out before they get off the ramp, because nothing stinks more than getting out there in the water and then all of a sudden finding out something's wrong or you neglected something over the off season. And then of course we will also see the new boater, the sweet noob of the waterways, that one who got their vessel over the winter and has been waiting and praying for this day to come where they can finally get out there and show everybody what they've got. I always find this one interesting because you've got two categories of noob boaters. You've got those noob boaters who understand they've got a lot to learn, including learning their local lakes where maybe the local sandbars and things are, and then we've got those ones who think they know it all already. You can offer them help and advice, but they don't want to hear it, they don't care at all. The new boater who does typically recognize that they're a new boater, they are willing to learn and they really want to learn. They are willing to take your advice and open to suggestion as long as you're willing to give it. While it can be a little frustrating sometimes, trying to deal with new boaters and teach them new tricks and how to dock and do various things on the vessel is not the same as being frustrated with a new boater who thinks they know it all. That new boater is going to go out there and say, hey, I don't need your advice, I don't need your help, I've got this, I've docked a boat 100 times. My dad, when I was 5, used to take me out back on his 1969 Boston Whaler with the Johnson 20 on the back, and we docked it all the time. We never had any issues. What could possibly go wrong? Only to figure out a few hours later, they may not be as experienced as they once thought they were. And of course we're going to see plenty of docking hits, but that's not the only place we're going to see the hits coming on a holiday weekend. That's right, out on the water it's going to happen as well. Now of course we could see these hits coming even on a normal weekend, but the chances are increased on a holiday weekend. Significantly higher boat traffic, especially during this weekend. We've got people who haven't been boating in a while or new boaters out on the water as well, and tie that in with a holiday weekend also having a higher chance of people consuming adult beverages while out on the water. So if you do choose to get out there on a nice holiday weekend like this weekend, make sure to use extreme caution. Use your common sense, no drinking and boating, make sure everybody knows where all their life jackets and emergency equipment is at all times, and make sure you enjoy yourself but do it responsibly. And then of course there's those people who decide they're going out no matter what. Doesn't matter what the weather forecast is, what the wave forecast is, it's a holiday weekend, they've been planning this for months, they're going out no matter what the conditions are. But whatever you do, don't put yourself in this category. Many of you, especially up north, have been patiently waiting for this day to get back onto the water. But if you decide you're going to go out and the conditions just don't look ideal, or things don't look right, or you're even questioning whether you should be going out, that probably means you should be staying in. And the last thing you want to do is get out there in the water and conditions be a little worse than you expected, and all of a sudden you've put you and your crew in harm's way.
The wind is currently 26 miles per hour and increasing, and they're heading out into it. And I don't think there's a life jacket amongst the lot of them. Boneheaded Boaters of the Week.
And then of course, even after all the fun of being out on the water, you still got to get that boat out on the water. And then you remembered you listened to all the internet forums and you said, hey, can my truck pull my boat? And somebody's chimed in, sure, I tow my 30-footer with a Toyota Camry, you'll be just fine. And you actually took that advice when you probably shouldn't have. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening in your waterways, be sure to hit me up on Facebook or Instagram and let me know, and you might see your stories over here. Just like Water Gekken NLD did last week, and Don Dottie, Miami Flats Life, Wavy Boats, Simon Picard, Adam Melendez, Gustavo Jimenez, Dave Steele, Ethan Flip, Coastal Sundays, Zach Green, Riley Clark, and W Daniel 25 did this week. And if you haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here. If not, we're coming to steal your drain plug.